welcome back to another episode of Your Fucking Welcome. Today's episode is yet again inspired by Tinder dating profiles, however you want to say that. And I was about to say sorry to you for that, but I'm definitely not sorry. And the reason I'm not sorry is because, as I mentioned in the last episode, and as I'm going to probably keep saying to you, it's all the same shit. All of this, business, dating, all of it. It's all the same stuff, just applied in different ways. And so the episode, what I wanted to share with you today, was inspired because I was talking to a friend early this morning, just about my dating profile and about what it says in there. And it was, yet again, so funny for me to catch myself not applying the rules that I literally say day in and day out to clients and to people who listen to me when it comes to business stuff. And so if we go back a little bit, right? I've joked with my friend Meg, although it's not a joke at all, just in terms of what I want, right? When I'm looking at like that next actual partner. And again, I'm not in a rush necessarily to be in a relationship, but like when I think about my dream relationship or my dream guy, I always think about these, the mixes, right, of different worlds. I want somebody who is very much in his masculine and very much a take charge kind of guy, while also he's spiritual, he's vulnerable, he's sensitive, right? I always say the example that I always use is like, I want somebody that I can have, wild, great sex with all night long and then wake up and like wants to bring me to Disneyland, or I want to go to like a spiritual retreat, but I also want to play beer pong with the guy, right? Like I want the mixing of those things. And Matthew Hussey, who is somebody who I feel like was like a life preserver for me years ago when I was at such a bad point, like his videos and his podcast. And I've always heard him talk about unique pairings, right? The importance or the like how much you should understand how attractive unique pairings are, right? So you look at something like, I don't know, because I remember him talking about it with like food, but like let's just say it was like bacon and chocolate, right? They're two things that they're not normally kind of like thought as things that go together, but they make this really delicious unique pairing, right? That makes you kind of crave it because it's different. It's a little bit out of the norm, right? It's not something that has been normally eaten, right? Normally presented to you at a restaurant. And so you want it that much more. It's that much more attractive to you because it feels that much more unique, right? And again, I was thinking about that in terms of what I want. I want that those unique pairings. I want somebody who is like flexible, right? Like they can go on all different types, on all different sides of the spectrum. I want somebody who is like crushing it in the boardroom, but will also play Super Mario Brothers with me, right? Like I want all of those things. And I think that somebody who can do both, right? Somebody who kind of flexes on opposite sides of the spectrum, again, is a really sexy and unique thing. And so the first part of this is that I wanted to bring this up to you when it comes to your business, or again, maybe it applies to you with dating, whatever. But when it comes to your business, right, and it comes to standing out in your business, I find so often that so many of us, we want to be able to define ourselves, be able to define what we do, be able to explain, what we offer to people. And so often I'm reminding people to own what their unique flavor is, right? I think that this isn't to brag on myself, but it's the easy example. I think that what my people who buy from me, who have worked with me for a long time, I think what my people tend to like about me is that I'm, from Jersey. I can be kind of like tough love and in your face, and I don't really like take shit, right? But I also really care. And I also do my best to be kind and compassionate, right? Or the same thing with I'm very strategic, but I also can look at somebody and like allow them to be vulnerable, or I can allow them to really dive in and dig in and admit to themselves and to me what they actually want for their life and business, not just forcing this masculine strategy that might not work for that person, right? And I always want to do my best to own that when it comes to my marketing, right? I want somebody to stumble upon my, about page, whatever it is. I don't know if it says this right now, but like, this is my philosophy. This is my style. This is my flavor. This is what makes me different. And I think when we say this sentence, what makes me different, or we talk about standing out, I think so often for people, that makes them think that they have to be different, right? It's like, oh God, I've got to do something extra to be different. And I find so often that it's really just about expressing what's actually true in the first place, right? Expressing what is true to you when it comes to what you believe in, what your style is, like, again, what your philosophy is when it comes to what you do. I think that my coach, Carrie, one of the things that I have felt is the most valuable and beautiful about her is that, I went into it, right? Like thinking that this is just not that it was just going to be about weight loss, but I kind of hired her with that like in mind, right? And like even our sales call that I got on with her, she said to me, she was like, during this process, I'm really going to need you to surrender a little bit, because she could certainly sense in me like the masculine side of me that's kind of like always in control and saying that this is how I want things to go. And her being somebody who holds so much space for me when we speak and is so compassionate and so patient, right? She will sit there and allow me to cry and all of these kind of things. Like she really, again, like I've never felt space held for me the way that she does. While also she will call me out on my shit when like I'm not doing something that I said that I was going to do. And she's not afraid to kind of let me know that like I'm letting my ego run the show or whatever it is. And I value that so, so, so much when it comes to her being my coach and just, again, business owners, right? In general, being able to say, I believe in this, but I also do this. And, take this person and mix them up. And if they had a baby, this would be me, right? And I think it's such a valuable thing for you to think about, and it's such a valuable thing for you to actually come out and say and share when it comes to your business, when it comes to your marketing. Because again, I think so often we're trying to share who we are, share what we do, and we're trying to wrap it up in this nice little bow and make it look pretty and make it, rhyme and so on and so forth. And while I always think that, of course, there's value in alliteration, right? I love alliteration. I'm always trying to name things with the same, with words starting in the same letter, all that kind of stuff. While at the same time, nothing replaces honesty and nothing replaces you actually just saying what you mean and meaning what you say. And that was the other part of this for me, because I'm literally sitting there this morning looking at my Tinder, Bumble, whatever profile. And again, like I have been so like closed off like to men over the past couple of years, which I don't think is a surprise to anyone who has like been in my world. But like all of a sudden I feel like this like boy crazed like teenager, and it's just very funny to kind of like witness me feeling like just more open than ever before. And so like first thing this morning, I'm like thinking about my Tinder and whatever profile, and I was looking at my profile and I'm just literally, I laughed out loud at myself, because my profile is like entrepreneur, dog mom, like likes concerts. Like who the fuck doesn't? Like it was so generic and it was so blah, and it didn't say anything. And not only did it not say anything, but it definitely didn't sound like me. It definitely wasn't owning who I am and what I want and saying it in my own way. And so I edited it and I like kind of like wrote up a little bit about that just feels more like me. And there's this ping of, oh God, well, what if somebody thinks I mean this? Or what if this is too aggressive in this way? And I'm like, Sarah, who gives a fuck? Because the right person, if they read that profile, they either get it, they're more curious, they want to learn more, it's not over their head, I don't have to spoon feed it to them, they're going to ask questions. The right person has the wherewithal, if you will, to go a little bit deeper and again, get curious, and doesn't need things, again, so surface level, right? Somebody that like my person, right? My person, whether it's somebody I'm going on a date with or spending the rest of my life with, my person can read my bio and see, obviously it doesn't tell the entire story in a couple characters, while at the same time they can see like my unique pairings and my uniqueness standing out in what I wrote. And again, the right person is at least interested in learning more, right? Even if they don't exactly get what I'm saying. And so again, to go back to business with this, I think it's so incredibly important to remind you, because again, I don't care if you've been doing this for 10 years. I know you forget about this stuff. I know you have moments where you let, your head and your fear lead the way, right? Your emotions lead the way, and you forget to just say what you want to say. But a reminder again that we don't have to stress about saying things the exact perfect way or in the exact right order, or, oh God, what if somebody doesn't understand this part? Or what if somebody doesn't know exactly where the link is? Well, they'll ask, right? Otherwise, if they can't do that or they won't do that, they weren't the right person. And just over and over and over again, I remind myself, and especially lately, I am just trying to live in this place of, again, surrender and trust with all of it, whether that's the client or whether that's the person that's about to come into my life romantically. I trust that if I'm supposed to meet this person, right, they're going to be at the dog park the right time that I'm going there, or they're going to be on the right dating app, or again, something being, one way in my profile isn't going to make or break me, because there's no ultimate way to fuck it up with what we're meant for. And I feel like that's a really hard thing to wrap your brain around when you're, I don't know, struggling to have faith in, like, I feel like I'm somebody who, I wasn't raised with religion. And so, especially with all of this, like mindset work and energy stuff, I've had a really hard time my entire life having faith in anything outside of myself, right? If I want something, I create it. I make it happen. And so me surrendering and me trusting beyond what I'm doing is not an easy thing. It still feels really new. I've gotten a lot better at it, but it still feels really new. And so my point in saying that is, I know that when you're hearing something like that, like, well, how am I just supposed to trust? Like, I want it now, or how am I just supposed to have faith that it's going to miraculously work out the way that I want it to? And I get that. But at the end of the day, what I learn is that it might, let's just say it might not be true. Let's just say it might not be true that my right person isn't going to find me exactly how they're supposed to, okay? It's still going to, like, make me on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis so much fucking happier and so much calmer, and it's going to do a world of good for my energy as a human to believe that possibilities are all around me, versus focusing on how can I force this possibility to happen, right? I've lived like that for a long time with a lot of things, and I don't want to live that way. I want to have more flow. I want to have more surrender, right? And so, again, to come back to the main point here is that I want you to think about your unique pairings, and whether that is with your, dating profile, or whether that is with your business and you carving out your niche and who you are and what you stand for and how you help people. What is unique about you and the way that you do things and how you bring what you bring to the table, right? And how can you trust that that is right for the right person, and let it be that simple, right? Trust that the right ideal client wants to pay your price, wants to, buy your program based on who you are and what you're saying about it. Your right romantic partner is attracted to the way that you say things and do things, and you owning exactly what you want. That's right for that right person, right? Put trust in that. And, at the end of the day, a reminder that you trying to be somebody you're not is fucking exhausting. And I think the number one thing that makes most of us unhappy is making ourselves wrong for who we actually are. And I think that goes so deep, and it is applicable on so many micro levels. And so all of that to say, I want you to give yourself permission to simply acknowledge and own who you are, right? State who you are, shout it from the rooftops who you are, and be okay with it, right? And when you're okay with it, in all ways, I can promise you're going to find that other people are okay with it, or other people fall away. And that's okay too, because who wants to keep people in their lives that are not fully aligned anyway, right? And so I hope this was helpful. I hope you turn it up a notch on your unique pairings and who you are in this world. And again, shout it from the rooftops. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.